I will hold you and protect you.
And number one from the Game Awards that took place a week ago or something like that, we've got over here, my opinion, probably the biggest reveal of the entire show itself, for me at least, the sequel to one of the most beloved open world survival horror / stealth games here, Death Stranding 2. See guys, Kojima actually said the game is hitting only PCs and the PlayStation 5 simultaneously upon release, probably by the end of 2023. Hopefully that'll be the case, and that it is once again a totally brand new mystery all the way. Take a look.
When I said I understand how you feel, but if you hold on to the sadness, it'll weigh you down like an anchor.
All those years you were lying to me.
It was for the greater good, Sam. And I would do it again in a heartbeat, for the same reason.
I never did know you.
Now, when it comes to stealth games we're generally talking about, Splinter Cell has always been amongst the biggest games in history, considering the Metal Gear games. In fact, this was even more advanced in AI in portions though compared to that. Anyway, there was a Splinter Cell remake in the works by Ubisoft itself, with no revealed trailer, no cinematic, no gameplay, only the update and the revealed news from yesterday that the game is actually on its right track and it'll be delivered either by the end of 2023 or sometime the year after. So keep it in mind.
Anna told me that you were coming. I was a big fan of yours back when you worked here. I was a big fan.
I'm touched.
Touch me. I got protection. I'm Teflon. So whatever you think you're gonna do to me, Mr. Has-Been, Mr. Rogue Agent.
Ready or not, here I come.
Megiddo. Who are they?
They're the ones who run this town. In Moscow, in Beijing, and any other place that matters.
Got any ideas?
One. But it's gonna hurt.
Just do what you have to do.
Mr. Cost explained some of it, but I don't understand.
Just sit tight, sweetheart.
But if you'd like to make an appointment, Mr.
Fisher. I used to work there.
Basim, Ebne's Hawk. Are you ready to give up who you once thought you were?
I am.
Ready to sacrifice everything you held close?
I am.
At number 3, we've got over here Assassin's Creed Mirage, the latest console Assassin's Creed entry that was announced a couple of months ago and now officially. For all of you new, this game is set in some 9th century Baghdad, which is in Iraq, in case you're just wondering, Middle East. There is a totally new protagonist you get to play as over here, which is much younger than Tahir, and the story will be much shorter, albeit I've come to understand there will be a more advanced gameplay system, and of course there's going to be better graphics, so just keep it in mind.
Then, out of the dark, you will come into the light. from the light.
You can give a man a gun and make him your weapon.
I've actually mentioned this one at its review for the 5th time over here, but once again, the same developers of the old I.G.I series came up with a reveal of a brand new entry called I.G.I Origins. Said that the game is now releasing for all consoles, both generations, in fact except PCs, next year. Origins will be a prequel to the 2000 original game, basically reimagining the series with a modern take on the shooter genre itself. Check it out in case you missed it.
Razor sharp. Sometimes you need to help discriminate friend from foe.
Coming up behind that, we've got over here, first off, most people didn't have a clue for a whole month when this thing was revealed, something called Nobody's Left, primarily was touted as an open world survival game, and I have to guess, pretty much inspired by the old Last of Us game, especially the second part. Nobody's Left has a tad more survival shooting elements as opposed to horror, more like the Division game, and said to be coming out for PCs and the next generation of consoles only sometime next year, hopefully.
David, can you turn on the light?
Wait, let me try the receiver.
Let there be light!
I'll take that.
I've only known about this one for a week myself. Been waiting for the right moment to talk about this one. We've got over here at number 6, Level 0 by the publishers Tiny Build, the same folks behind all Hello Neighbor games, and what is described by its developers as an asymmetrical horror PvP, albeit not just the old black and white APVP clone like most horror shooters, but one with a totally new twist. What they said. Take a look. Game set to be coming to all consoles late 2022.
David, what's going on there? David!
Damn. Nick and Sharon are dead.
Shit! Shit! We have to restore the power now! Grab the car to Sector C!
Got it.
Okay. I'll see you at the gate.
I've been away, but I couldn't tell you where. The city has changed. I've changed.
Coming up behind that, we've got Thief, the stealth game. I've actually mentioned this one last week in case you missed out on the update. One of the greatest sneaking franchises of all time that ever came out for both consoles and PCs. The series now has a sequel in the making, going by Thief 5, just simply that, and set to be released next year, hopefully. Now, I know since the last entry it's been more than 5 years, a few of you probably think that the franchise is cancelled, which is not the case at all. It's going smooth. All we need right now is a precise release date for it.
So, here's the gig. I've got a whole list of people with shinies worth stealing, and you've got a city to reacquaint yourself with.
Northcrest Manor. Someone in here rests the Baron's precious heirloom. The heart of the lion. First I stole to survive. Then I survived to steal. It is all I know and all I will ever know. Ah, this is the painting I'm looking for. Let's see if you're hiding any secrets behind there. All this time I thought the Baron didn't have a heart, and here it is. I need to get out of here.
My dad says the government is lying about everything.
Well, he's right. But don't worry, though, I'll protect you.
Greyhill Incident is now releasing early to mid next year. It's going to be coming to PCs, both generation of consoles, and not Switch. Now this is good news for those of you who've been waiting for some alien survival action since the reveal of the project earlier this year. Greyhill Incident, in my opinion, is not the next big horror game, although one of a kind for ages at least, because I can't really remember the last time an alien abduction horror game came out. This is how the game really looks. We just got a new trailer. The game's releasing early next year. This has actually been a long time coming, so if you've been waiting like me for this thing, Jawdrop recently dropped an update for Deathground, which is this Alien Isolation style sort of dinosaur game that started life through a Kickstarter campaign around the same time, like 2 years ago. The game is now well and in its final stages of development apparently. This is a solo and co-op survival horror game in which you have to fight against and survive AI dinosaurs mostly. Take a look. On to number 10 from the Game Awards of last year. In case you missed out on the news, we've got Aftermath, which is a psychological survival thriller. Not much of a horror game, but a stealth, or at least as it's labeled as, set in some post-apocalyptic Earth, version of Earth, where you'd be playing as an astronaut, and that's all there was to it. This game's expected to come out later in 2023. This might just be the actual gameplay, I'm not really sure, but if not, it could just be a mix of cutscene and early developed footage. So just moving on.
Told you keep on watching. Oh.
What I saw.
Solis, everything okay in there?
Some of you might remember this from last year, but just in case, one of the good people who previously worked on The Last of Us and another on Red Dead, the second game, technically been teaming up and developing a third-person thriller game set on Mars called Solis. The two main developers actually described this game as a space horror taking cues from the Dead Space and the movie Moon, and that the game's going to be released eventually sometime next year for PCs only.
Get out of there!
Helios. They search for someone who does not exist.
And number 12 by Raw Fury and developers Baby Robot. We've just got a stealth platformer, something I've probably mentioned once before. It's called Ereban Shadow Legacy. This is a Microsoft exclusive and due for release next year, and a little later for the PlayStation 5 as well. Check it out. Here's a trailer. The game is graphically quite nice in my opinion, and it's mostly a narrative. Take a look.
But I am not their hope. I am their reckoning. They will not drag me into their light.
The very point of this is to run a trial version of a possible future.
Moving on to number 13, we've got Evotinction. The same folks behind the old Sony China's Hero project actually came up with this one from earlier this year. The game is a stealth action inspired by the Metal Gears and some Watch Dogs. Evotinction was actually announced a few years ago. The game has been through some sort of development hell, but thankfully now back on its feet and set to be coming out for PCs, PlayStation 4 and 5 early to mid next year.
Doctor, wait! That genie is infected with the red virus.
Just hang on, I'm coming.
Unleashing something like more.
Hay un lugar donde todas tus fantasías.
What the? Coming from the same developers of Succubus and Agony, or totally all the way adult-rated first-person games, not the type of game you want to play around people, we've got over here a brand new IP from last month going by the name, well, of course, Tormentor. This is a more of a survival horror, third-person play with a little less nudity as opposed to earlier projects, and set to be coming out for PCs, next generation of consoles only, by the end of next year. Take a look.
No! Please, stop! You don't have to do this!
Piérdete en la locura. Elige a tus víctimas. Cuídalas.
Hello? Why are we here? Who did this to us?
Y recompénsalas con la venganza.
I'm gonna stop this madness.
I wouldn't touch it if I were you.
De Manca.
And last but not least, from the PAX show earlier this year, we've got over here one of the more interesting puzzle platforms in the making ever since, going by the name One Last Breath. Probably what you'd get by mixing inside the game, by played it with a little bit of No Man's Sky, where you're on this post-apocalyptic version of Earth, and with some supernatural power you get to control the Earth itself. Take a look, this game's set to be coming to PCs only sometime next year.